Welcome back, everyone in YouTube land. This is your tinfoil hat economist coming back to you at the speed of light with episode number 26. Walt Disney declares it is leaving China, citing human rights abuses. Well, we have a fascinating show for you today. We have a news release from Walt Disney, and I will read it to you. This is breaking news, July 26. Burbank, California, July 26, 2020. The Walt Disney Company has pledged to end distribution of Disney-branded entertainment and products in mainland China by the end of the third quarter, and will sell its stake in Shanghai Disneyland due to the incarceration of millions of Uyghurs and untenable human rights violations across China. In addition, Disney has pledged $5 million to support the Human Rights Watch to further their long-standing work promoting social justice by eliminating human repression globally. In regards to Shanghai Disney Chairman Bob Iger said, "We have 11,000 associates employed at Disney Shanghai, but with at least 300 members of the Communist Party on payroll, our associates no longer felt safe in the workplace. We are negotiating presently to defund our obligations and unbrand the facility with the majority owners, who are state-owned entities in Shanghai." That's the state-owned entities, which of course represent the Communist Party of China, are the majority owners of Shanghai Disneyland. This follows on the heels of a release June 3rd, which came out of Burbank, and it goes, "The killing of George Floyd has forced our nation to once again confront the long history of injustice that Black people in America have suffered, and it is critical we stand together, speak out, and do everything in our power to ensure that acts of racism and violence are never tolerated," said Bob Chapek, Chief Executive Officer for Walt Disney Company. Well, before this YouTube gets knocked off the air by Walt Disney, let me quickly say the first news release regarding Shanghai and Shanghai Disney and leaving business in China is satire. Walt Disney is not leaving China, and Walt Disney is not raising the slightest bo peep about the treatment of 3 million Uyghurs in concentration camps in China, or the increasing human rights repression in and all across China. Why am I so certain of what I just said? Well, keep in mind, Walt Disney is a publicly held company. That means they have fiduciary obligations to their shareholders, which trump all other concerns other than complying with law. When it is in the financial interests of shareholders to posture or put out a press release about racism in America, they will do so. If it is in the interest of shareholders to go mute on the treatment of citizens in China, they will do so. That's fine. That's their right and their obligation to their shareholders. Does raise questions for those of us that are concerned about U.S. policies towards China and maybe have some shred of concern for our fellow human beings in China. We must remember that publicly held companies are able to fund and put money into lobby groups, public relations firms, trade organizations, think tanks, academia, media. Amazon owns the Washington Post. And with the court decision of Citizens United from 2010, they can even pour money directly into political campaigns. And multinationals are quite powerful, of course. Apple, which makes all of their phones in China, is at times the most valuable or second or third most valuable company on the planet. Tesla, which makes cars in Shanghai now, the most valuable automaker on the planet. BlackRock, which is the world's largest private sector money manager, has heavy investments in China. Walmart imports from China, and so forth and so on. These very large influential organizations are able to weigh upon U.S. foreign policy to China. Now, that may be a topic somewhat siloed, but this carries over into economic policy and results for people who live in America. An example would be China had tariffs, high tariffs, on cars that Tesla made. What was Tesla's response? Tesla built a factory in Shanghai to build cars there, employing Chinese workers and getting access to very large, there's 1.4 billion Chinese with rising incomes. You can't blame Tesla for making this decision. It's the right decision for their shareholders. Could they have exported cars from the U.S. into China if that tariff had not existed, and had U.S. authorities done all that they could to aid Tesla, all that they could within reason, to make Tesla a competitive company, not weigh them down with regulations and keeping their workers out of the factory due to COVID-19. So this foreign policy as developed by our multinationals does have consequences here in the United States. This is a topic we will look at again in the future. This is your tinfoil hat economist signing off at the speed of light. I look forward to seeing all of you in episode number 27 of the Tinfoil Hat Economist.